Join me as I take on the challenge to break the emotional eating cycle using just 3 simple steps. Emotional eating, turning to food for comfort, distraction, or even relief, affects so many of us. We've all been there, whether it's late-night snacking during a rough week, reaching for ice cream when we're feeling down, or simply overindulging out of boredom. But what starts as a temporary comfort can easily lead to a cycle of guilt, stress, and, ultimately, unhealthy eating patterns. This habit can hurt our physical health, leading to weight gain or health issues, and it can also have lasting effects on our mental health, impacting self-esteem and creating a sense of helplessness around food. But here's the good news. Emotional eating is something we can address and manage. Today, I'm diving deep into 3 steps that have been game changers for me on my journey to a healthier, more balanced approach to food. Step 1. Identify emotional triggers to break free from emotional eating. The first and most crucial step is self-awareness. Many of us reach for food without realizing why. We might be feeling anxious, bored, or lonely, but we grab a snack instead of exploring these emotions. So, how can we begin to recognize our triggers? Reflect on recent eating habits. Think back on moments when you felt the urge to eat something, even if you weren't hungry. Was it after a stressful day, or maybe when you were bored or procrastinating? Keeping a journal of your emotional states and eating habits can be incredibly revealing. Tune into your emotions. Before eating, pause and ask yourself, am I hungry? Take a moment to explore what you're feeling. Are you frustrated, lonely, or stressed? Recognizing the feeling beneath the craving is the first step to making more mindful choices. Identify common patterns. We all have unique triggers, whether it's work stress, relationship issues, or self-doubt. Once you identify these triggers, you can plan how to respond more healthily the next time they arise. Step 2. Find alternative coping mechanisms. Once you've identified your emotional triggers, the next step is to replace the habit of emotional eating with healthier ways of dealing with those emotions. This is often the hardest step, but finding the right alternatives can make all the difference. Exercise and physical activity. Physical movement, even a quick walk or a few minutes of stretching, can lift your mood and help release pent-up energy. Exercise is known to boost endorphins, reducing stress and anxiety and helping you feel more in control. Mindfulness and breathing techniques. Practice deep breathing exercises when you feel the urge to eat out of stress or anxiety. Sometimes, just a few moments of focused breathing can calm your mind and reduce the intensity of the craving. Meditation or guided breathing apps can also be helpful. Hobbies and distractions. Engaging in a creative hobby, like drawing, knitting, or writing, can take your mind off food and help you deal with emotions constructively. Or try something hands-on like cleaning or organizing, which can feel both productive and soothing. Social support. Sometimes, talking to a friend, family member, or support group can help you cope with your emotions in a way that doesn't involve food. Sharing your feelings with someone who understands can help reduce stress and provide you with a healthy outlet. Step 3. Develop a healthier relationship with food. Ultimately, breaking free from emotional eating is about changing the way we view food. Instead of thinking of food as an emotional escape, we can start seeing it as nourishment for our bodies. Here's how we can start building this healthier mindset. Practice intuitive eating. Try to reconnect with your body's natural hunger and fullness signals. This means eating when you're genuinely hungry and stopping when you're satisfied. At first, this can be tricky if you're used to emotional eating, but with practice, it becomes easier to recognize true hunger cues. Give yourself permission to enjoy food. Part of developing a healthy relationship with food is to avoid strict dieting or labeling foods as good or bad. Allow yourself to enjoy a variety of foods without guilt. The goal is to find balance, where you can enjoy food without using it to cope with emotions. Plan for treats mindfully. If you crave something specific, such as chocolate, allow yourself to have it in moderation and savor it fully, rather than feeling guilty. Mindful eating practices, like focusing on the flavors and textures, can help you appreciate the food and be satisfied with less. Closing thoughts. Emotional eating isn't about the food itself, it's about the emotions driving those eating habits. By following these 3 steps, identifying emotional triggers, finding alternative coping strategies, and cultivating a balanced relationship with food, you'll begin to see a shift in your mindset around eating. You'll learn that food doesn't have to be your comfort zone. Instead, it can be a nourishing, enjoyable part of your life. The journey to overcoming emotional eating isn't about quick fixes or magic solutions. It's about self-awareness, patience, and treating yourself with kindness. It's not always easy, but these small steps can make a big difference. Thank you for joining me on this journey to break the emotional eating cycle. If you've struggled with emotional eating or have tips to share, please drop a comment below. And don't forget to check out my next video on mindful eating strategies to keep building a healthier relationship with food.